why foreigners suck at Korean.
So, yeah, we suck at Korean. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the China Club. My name is Ade.
My name is David.
So, David, what's our topic today?
Our topic is a fun one.
Okay.
Hopefully, no one gets too serious about it.
Okay.
It's why foreigners suck at Korean. So meaning here foreigners like expats, like expatriates living in Korea.
Right.
They've been here for God knows how many years,
Right.
but their proficiency level
Right.
has been the same or worse since arriving and
Right.
living in Korea.
Right. So, yeah, we suck at Korean. We suck at Korean.
So why is it? Why?
So first, let me start by saying, like, it's this video is for not the tourists, not the visitors who've been here short term, a month or two. This is mostly for the people who's been here like a year or longer, or up to like how many years?
Right, people who are working. So foreigners and expats who are working in Korea.
Right.
But let me ask you this:
Right.
do all foreigners suck?
So let me say this. That's a very interesting question. All foreigners do not suck at Korean.
So are you saying you're good?
Well, we'll get to me later.
Yeah.
But I will say that the people living in Korea and are studying Korean, studying at universities,
Yeah.
their Korean is usually fantastic. They usually come in on...
So you're protecting your squad.
but it is what it is.
Okay.
A lot of the students come in through a Korean program.
Yeah.
And they actually have to take a Korean course before they get admitted into university. And the higher their level, the bigger their scholarship. Right? So they have the motivation to learn Korean.
Yeah.
And also when they're at school, they're on the Korean track.
Okay.
So everything is in Korean. And I had a friend, he was here, I want to say, just around 2 years. And he got TOPIK 6, which is the highest level you can get.
Oh, okay.
On the Korean test. And like that's like near native, and he's been here 2 years. I know guys who've been here 20 years.
I guess they're gifted people though who are just really good with languages too.
Right.
But then there are also those who are going out of their comfort zone.
That's the key.
To learn the language because they're living here, right? If you're here on a working visa, I don't know what whatever it is.
Teaching visa,
Teaching visa, and that expires, you have nowhere else to go.
Right.
So, but I don't know, if it's the same now, but there are foreigners who can get a certain visa here, like an F visa, to extend their stay. And to get that particular visa, you need to have that proficiency level, right?
Right. So, as I was saying before, there's some foreigners who do suck.
Yeah.
And there's some foreigners who are very good. Sorry. And there's some foreigners who do suck. A lot of the foreigners who are not that good at Korean are mostly the teachers. Usually the English-speaking teachers. And usually, even though they're here for short term, a lot of the soldiers that are here, get stationed here for a year or two or something like that, and then they leave. Right. Those people's Korean is not.
So if you're a teacher watching this, foreigner teacher watching this in Korea, and your Korean is better than the average, let us know.
Sure, let us know.
So why do foreigners suck at Korean?
There's many reasons why. I think some foreigners suck at Korean because they keep a short-term mentality. A lot of foreigners come here, they come to teach for a year or two. And they believe, I'm only going to stay here for a year. I'm staying here for really short term. So there's no point of even trying to pick up the language.
Sure.
But what tends to happen is those foreigners, I'm only going to stay for a year or two, end up staying for 10 years.
Right.
So they keep that short-term mentality, and they never invested in Korean because they always thought they were leaving.
That's like me included. I think I came here not knowing I'll be here for more than a year.
Right, it happens to a lot of people.
And it just my stay just kept extending, and now 10 years has passed, and I'm just like, crap,
Right.
But I'm on a different case. But obviously, we're talking about the language here. So
sure.
Tell us more.
So that short-term mentality, because you're just thinking you're gonna leave, you don't wanna pick it up. Another reason is, and this is a bad point. foreigners here, especially the teachers that speak English, they create an English bubble. Some of it is their fault. Some of it is just the way it is.
Yeah.
So this English bubble is just everything around you and surrounding you, you just speak English.
Right.
So I am a teacher here. So when I go to work, I'm not expected to speak Korean. I'm expected to speak English because that's my job. But then usually a lot of the foreigners go to the expat bars, the Western style bars.
Right.
Right? Usually if they have a boyfriend or girlfriend, their partner speaks English. Usually their friends speak English.
Right.
So they're slowly creating this bubble where they no longer need Korean
That's
anymore.
facts, though. That's
It is.
facts.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's super true. Right.
Yeah. So that's a condition that they're making on their own, where they don't feel the need to learn Korean.
There's no need for it.
Right.
Another part of that English bubble is too, people don't speak Korean to us. They want to speak English to us. Right? Either if it's want to practice a quick English conversation, right? And another thing about it is too is that Koreans don't have any expectation for us to speak Korean. I feel like if you live abroad, like if a Korean lives in America or another country, they expect you to at least know a little bit of their language if you're going to stay there long term. It's so true that I even know some people who look Korean, who look Asian, but they're American or Canadian, and they come here and they know zero Korean. And people are angry at them that they don't know Korean.
Oh no!
And they go to the supermarket and they're speaking in Korean, and I don't know Korean. And they're just huh? Like, but with me, it's just like
they go a little easy on you, right? Yeah.
Super easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a pro and a con for sure, but that's definitely one of the reasons is that we have such Koreans have such low expectations for us, and another reason why foreigners kind of suck at Korean is it's not the Koreans' fault, but they overpraise us for our little knowledge of Korean language. Right. It's like I feel like a baby walking for the first time, and everyone's just clapping for you. That's exactly how I feel when like I speak a little bit of Korean in Korea, and everyone's just so like excited and happy.
Yeah.
So quick story: when I first came here, like maybe 6 months in, I went on the mountain with my friend, and we met a bunch of ajumas. Right? And they're like, oh, where are you from? And I said, oh, like, I'm just like, oh, 안녕하세요. I'm like, oh, John in Canada, 사람이에요. And they're all three of them started clapping. And I was just like, wow. Like, wow. Right? And then, like, you know, that can kind of detour you from studying because, I just need to know how to
say hello.
Say hello and say where I'm from. And that's it.
Yeah.
Right. So...
yeah, so I guess all in all, a lot of the foreigners and expats here don't feel the need because they're not pressured to learn
There's
Korean.
no real need to know it unless you want to,
Right, no one's telling you to study Korean because you can live without it.
Right.
And so there's no pressure. And I guess that's the there's pros and cons to it, just like you said.
So there's like a lot of foreigners, like I said, there's foreigners who've been here like 2 years, and there's foreigners who've been here 20 years.
Yeah.
You just don't pick up the language. That's a total myth. Like, oh, the longer you're there, the more you pick it up. It doesn't work that way.
It really depends on where you're living and what kind of job you're into. Me and my family, we immigrated to Canada a long time ago when I was little, right? I was fortunate to be in a school full of Caucasian kids. Like maybe one black kid, all white kids. I was the second Asian there. Okay. And the first Asian guy who was there, he was born and raised in Canada, so he didn't know any Chinese. His parents were Chinese. Okay. And so I had to speak English to survive.
Right.
And the kids were all friendly at the time, and they were able to like teach me, game words and like tag games and all that stuff. So I was able to pick up the English language really quickly. But then let's say you have another kid who was maybe sent to a school full of Korean kids,
Right.
that kid will never learn English.
Right.
Because he'll make friends with a Korean kid.
Sure.
And they'll create those Korean circle of friends.
The bubble. You make the bubble.
You make the Korean bubble. And you get to university and says, and he says, I've been here in 10 years, but I don't speak English very well.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. So then I want to ask you this question.
Sure.
Since we talked about all the foreigners and expats and dissing all their level of Korean, let me ask you, how good is your Korean?
So my Korean is passable. I have been here a while, but a lot of my foreign friends, they think I'm fluent or speak really well in Korean.
Okay.
Because I do study, like I do have like a study plan, and I have invested time and money a lot into my Korean because I've always knew I wanted to stay here longer than most. And I figured that if I wanted the full Korean experience, it was best to at least adapt as much of the language as I could.
Okay, a quick test.
Quick
test. Off the script here. Off
Okay.
the script.
Let's go.
그러면 아대는 이 한국에서 좀 살면서 좋아하는 것도 있고 좋아하지 않은 것도 있는데 뭐를 제일 좋아해요? 예를 들어서 무슨 음식을 제일 좋아해요?
무슨 음식을 좋아해요? 진짜 치맥 진짜 좋아해요.
치맥 왜 좋아해요?
치맥에는 근데 치맥 먹었는데 분위기 진짜 좋아요.
분위기가 좋아요.
맞아요. 근데 친구들은 너무 행복해요.
네.
근데 한국에서 프라이드 치킨 진짜 맛있어요.
네,
맞아요.
맞아요.
근데
잘하네요. That's passable. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
You're able to carry on the conversation.
for sure. Able, and then a lot of the people that do speak to you,
Yeah.
once you speak Korean to them,
Yeah.
all of their English comes out. So then you can kind of start. I don't know this word. Just throw an English word, and then they'll know it.
Yeah.
And then the conversation keeps on going. So I do actually have my long-term residency visa here.
Okay.
I'm off the teacher visa. I'm
That's
on
good.
an F visa here.
Yeah.
So I did have to do those Korean classes and pass a test and meet certain requirements. So I do recommend for anybody who wants to come to Korea, even if it's for 1 year, keep a long-term mentality. Because when you do that, you're getting the best Korean experience possible. I've met a lot of my Korean friends who don't speak English just because I spoke a little bit of broken Korean to them.
Yeah.
And they appreciated it, and then they showed me things that I never would be able to see if I didn't do that. So
All right. So the key points, key takeaways. If you are a foreigner trying to live in Korea, change the mentality from a short term to a long term.
long term.
Long term.
And pop that English.
Get out of your comfort zone. Try learning the new language. Maybe make more Korean friends. But
sure.
also you can make not just Korean friends, but English speaking Korean friends who are willing to talk to you in Korean as well.
Right.
I think that's key. It's because like if you just make Korean friends, I'm not saying all Koreans do this, but they might take advantage of
I've heard that tons of times. It happened to me too.
yeah. Of you being an English-speaking person, they want to learn English from you, right?
Sure.
So maybe choose your friends wisely as well.
For sure. And we're going to talk about that, of why Koreans suck at English. So we'll get there on our next video.
Another part. All right. Well, if you liked the video, thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below of what you thought about this story.
Thanks, guys.